Yo, good evening, good people. Y'all know what time it is, baby. It's AA Sports. Straight sports, no damn chaser. You've got the super team of sports talk here with y'all on one half of it. Diego Barishnikov, the Black Dominican Russian. Checking in with my main man, my partner in crime, the 6 foot and under post-up champ. Man, you know the routine. Tell these people your name.
What's good people? It's your boy Uncle Hate, the other A and AA Sports, broadcasting live here on a Tuesday to recap week 13 of the NFL. 13 weeks. It's good.
Everything is gravy. Episode 203. People, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Of course, we're going to cover NFL Week 13. My boys took an L. We're going to definitely discuss that. Some other things going on today with my man Uncle Hate's team in Charlotte. So we gotta discuss that a little bit too. Touch maybe a little bit on college at the end. But y'all know what it is. It's heavy football. We'll be getting into basketball soon, though. Yeah. But check us out. All the platforms, you know, it's YouTube, Spreaker, and iTunes. So check us out there at AA Sportscast, Straight Sports, No Chaser. You'll find the content. Hey, like you said, man, week 13 in the books. It seemed like it was just week 5 or 6. Bro. Here we are in the home stretch. 4 games left for all teams. Buys are over. All that you
went by fast, dog.
Very.
Oh my God, it went by fast. But it's go time now. Put up or shut up. I think one thing I learned. I think we talked about this on the side. I'm not sure anybody wants to win the NFC East. I'm not sure.
Nah, and I'm gonna get in. Yeah, that's a good point. Nobody wants to win it, and because nobody really wants to win it, it's another reason why. Even though, of course, you know I wanted to win the game Sunday, hoping the Vikings would go ahead and take care of Seattle last night so we can keep the number 1 spot. They didn't. We dropped down to 5. However, if you are the 5th seed in these playoffs, that means you're going to have to go on the road anyway. Why not go to the NFC East champion? Because that's who you'll be playing, the 4 seed. So the Cowboys and the Eagles don't scare whoever's going to be in that 5th spot, whether it's us or the Seahawks, the Vikings. You know, I don't see the Cowboys. Now, the Vikings and the Cowboys, I can see that matchup maybe going in the Cowboys' favor just because of Kurt, you know, in big games, that whole thing with him. Yeah, but as far as us, the Saints, Packers, I don't think because the Vikings still can win a division, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
They're not that far out of it. Well, let's jump into Dallas. Let's real quick. The Saints beat the Falcons and the Bears beat Detroit. So the Dallas game. Dallas on Thanksgiving last week. They were heavily favored I can't say heavily, but folks expected them to beat the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. It didn't go that way. Buffalo manhandled them, and it was true to form what Dallas has been doing the last few weeks. You know, they get Zeke going in some cases, and they go away from him. You can't tell me. Well, maybe you can explain to me. How is it Zeke did not carry the ball now one time after the half?
Hey man, like I told you, I didn't really see the game. I hate. I'm one of the only people that don't get too hype about Thanksgiving football and NBA on Christmas because I never really get to see any of it because it's just we got way too much family and too much going on. But from what I could gather, same thing has been going on for the last couple of weeks with Dallas. Not giving Zeke the ball, giving him like 15 to 17 carries. That's not going to cut it.
The last 3 games, the last 4 games, Zeke has had 22, 18, 25, and 19 touches. I believe Zeke needs to touch the ball 25 to 30 times every game. Every single game. You paid him. What you saving him for?
Yeah, but it's got to be more to it than that, though. Because I mean, this defense to me is slipping.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It ain't as strong as it was. The past game, even though Dak got solid numbers, it's up and down.
That stuff be garbage too. Damn,
Yeah.
when the game be decided, like this game was decided early in the third. Then he got loose. Think he might have got a touchdown or two down the stretch, and it makes the numbers look better. But I don't get the play calling. I don't get that. And you're right. That defense, DeMarcus Lawrence might have. I'm gonna say on the high side 6 sacks. I'm gonna say.
Right. That was they struggling to put together where all three phases are playing good at the same time. Offense, defense, special teams. They just all over the place. From week to week, you don't know what's going on, what you can count on and what you can't count on. They just not a consistent football team, and the record shows. And that's why I say I don't think anybody's going to be scared to go into Cowboy Stadium and play a playoff game. If for whatever team that may come to, if they beat the Eagles, because they still is not guaranteed to beat the Eagles.
All right, so I didn't do a lot in regards to flat out numbers, but I put the divisions that are pretty much still in to be decided. Looking at them two schedules, Philly has the easiest schedule. They shouldn't have lost to Miami on Sunday.
I was just about to say, but do they want it? Because they went out. I mean, everything on the table. Dallas lost on Thursday. So for 2 days what you got to do. You got to come out, go ahead and take care of business in Miami. Go back home, tied for the division lead. You even up 14 points in this game. I think in the third quarter, midway through the third quarter or so. And you let the Dolphins come back and beat you. I don't know what else to say. I mean, Kane, Ice, I know y'all out there. What's up, fellas? I know y'all frustrated because I see it on your timelines each and every Sunday. Can this team –
This might be one of the worst games their secondary has ever played, though. Devontae Parker looked like Randy Moss out there on Sunday.
Shout out to Devontae Parker because he's been playing some good. I haven't watched a whole lot of Miami games, but I did read up something on him that said he's actually playing better than people thought he would play this year.
Yeah,
trying to shed that bust tag. That's what it was. It was an article about
he's been
bust.
Carrying that for a while. So maybe good quarterback play or at least decent quarterback play has something to do with that as well. This Magic probably the best quarterback he done played with since he been there.
Well, not only that, he's staying on the field because he was hurt quite a bit too. So those two things hand in hand, that'll definitely make a difference. But yeah, Philly and Dallas, man. Who knows? I think Philly got a Monday night game coming up against the damn Giants. They might fuck around and lose that game.
Would it surprise you Thursday if Dallas went up to Chicago and lost?
No.
Not at all. So,
it wouldn't surprise me at all. And that's saying something when you're talking about what the Bears offense with Mitch Trubisky has been this year. Right. That's really saying something. Right. And Chicago's defense, and I think it's because of the lack of offense, the Chicago defense ain't been as dominant as it's supposed to be. Because they probably fuck it.
Yeah. So you can't even finish your glass of Gatorade because you gotta go right back on the field. So yeah.
Right.
But I think neither one of us know who wants to win that division. We're just gonna have to see.
Yeah, I mean, to me, again, we keep saying it, but it's gonna come down more. It's more than likely gonna come down to the game where they play each other in Philly. I think in 2 weeks. And who do you trust more?
Because they got 3 straight weeks. Chicago, the Rams, and Philly. They can go into that Philly game with 2 straight L's. The Rams have been playing better, and that game is in Dallas. I don't know. We're going to see. You don't know what you're going to get. They're Jekyll and Hyde. But I kind of felt like Jason Garrett should have got fired. But then at this point, hell, they might win the division.
Yeah, I'm saying at this point, it's just no need to at this point. And not that I agree with a whole lot Jerry Jones said, but I agree with he said there's really no point in doing it this late Because if you do it this late, then you definitely give your shot. Give up your shot at any chance of winning the Super Bowl. Because he looking at it, just win the division as long as we get in the playoffs.
Yeah,
and we got just as better chance as anybody else.
yeah.
Talent aside, but
Yeah.
that's their MO right now. And quite frankly, that's kind of the way they got to look at it. But they are not playing good football. I don't have faith in them playing good ball over these next 4 weeks from what I've seen. Not that I got faith in Philly playing all that much better, but like you just said, they got the easier schedule. And that game when they head to head, I trust Doug Peterson more than I trust Jason Garrett.
The best thing Philly, this is the last thing we're going to say on this. The best thing Philly got going for them right now, they're getting healthy, finally. So, you got Alshon back last week. Nelson Aguilar was still dropping passes, but hopefully Zach Ertz will be healthy by next Monday. But we just going to see. All right, next up. The game
Made me look good, Philly.
Yeah. The game that got my coach fired, the Washington Redskins ran the ball all up and down Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte on Sunday. I want to say they had almost 300 yards rushing. I wasn't surprised when Ron Rivera got fired today. I wasn't surprised. He been there 9 years, 3 winning seasons. I mean, that's not just a reflection on him, but he got
only 3.
Yeah. Well, he been to the playoffs a lot. We really haven't. The 15-year, we went to last year. A couple years ago, lost to the Saints. We ain't had like 3 playoff runs since Cam been there.
Okay.
They ain't been a lot. And they came
so it's like, okay, that would make sense. Like every 3 years he get in. Yep. Okay.
We had a lot of 7-9 seasons. Anywho, gotcha. So they let go of the coach today. And, the owner laid out a couple weeks ago when he said he wasn't going to go for mediocrity. The Falcons kicked our ass last week, if I'm not mistaken. He's like, all right, cool. We can bounce back this week. We got Washington. We got Dwayne Haskins. We going to win. Didn't go that way. It was embarrassing, and they let go of the coach. At this point, I want the highest draft pick possible, and I'm bringing back a healthy Cam Newton next year. That's the focus. That's the goal. I don't have much on that game because I'm still pissed off about it.
Yeah, I was I was checking in on that score because, of course, I think I played the same time we played, so I was on my game. But, yeah, the live updates that were coming up on that game, I was just like, damn. I know you was fuming.
It went left. But, shit, man. What can you do?
So what's our record now?
5-7.
Okay, yeah, y'all out. So, yeah, like you said, play
highest pick possible. And whoever they're going to hire a coach, that's going to be interesting. Ron Rivera will be a coach next year somewhere. I can see him. I've been – have you been hearing anything about Shermer? I've been hearing he's in a little trouble up there.
No, I haven't been hearing. Man, Ron, he'll find a job quick.
The reason I brought Shermer up because Gettleman's up there, and Gettleman was our GM, but he'll have a job somewhere. 2 coach of the years, he'll have a job. Just I take my time picking the right job if I'm him, but we'll see which way that goes.
Yeah, which way do you think? Which way do you think y'all go? College guy, young coordinator that's in the league already, or one of them old retreads?
I have no idea.
It's kind of early at this point, though. Well,
I saw an article this afternoon. They were talking about what's the old boy from Green Bay?
McCarthy. His name comes up for me a lot.
Yeah, I don't want that. I don't. But
you don't like McCarthy?
No, not necessarily. I don't think Cam's his type of quarterback. And I do believe Cam's going to get this year to see what happens. I do believe they're going to get
okay. Well, when you say that does make sense. Okay. Yeah. So, for Cam, who knows, man? Who knows what's out there?
Yeah, it could very well
I'm thinking young. I'm thinking something young, either a college guy or one of these young coordinators that that might be out here. Spread type offense because you got McCaffrey back there.
Right.
That's probably what Tepper's going to be looking at. But like I say, you got to be patient, get the right dude, and get a dude that you're going to allow to at least get a couple years to kind of turn things around or do whatever you need to do to make it work.
Yeah, they might hire North. North Turner's no longer the OC. They promoted his son to that. They
Right.
might move him up. You know how they do with this stuff. You never can tell. So, interesting offseason in Charlotte, but I do expect Cameron Newton to be there next year. So we're going to see. All right, let's run through the rest of these scores. Cincinnati beat the Jets. They got their first win. The Titans.
Red Rifle.
Hey, turn up. You called that one on me. I ain't see it coming. The Titans beat the Colts in Indianapolis 31-17. If what I'm looking at is correct, the Titans are right there with Pittsburgh in regards to getting in the playoffs, and they're only a game behind for the division with Ryan Tannehill. He might keep that job. He just might.
One thing you start looking at the short list of probably quarterbacks that's going to be available. He putting himself in good position to get him a nice little check.
Yeah, they might hit him with that. What's that? Old boy who's in Minnesota, Case Keenum. They might hit him with that 3
that type contract.
That's good bread when you was on the scrap heap last year. So we'll see what happens with that. But that division definitely has not been decided as of yet. We talked about the Eagles going down there laying that egg to Miami. Green Bay in the snow beat the Giants. Saquon Barkley had 100 yards in that game, but we're going to see with the Giants. Let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. Okay. If you're a Cleveland fan, how would you feel with your coach wearing that damn shirt saying Pittsburgh started?
If I'm a Cleveland fan, you asking me to think like a Cleveland fan right now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I love it.
You good with it?
If you're talking about the Cleveland fans, come on, think about it.
Yeah.
They probably loved it.
Yeah.
The thing with me and the T-shirt, I didn't care whether he wore the shirt or not.
It wasn't that deep, but
You know what I'm saying? What he went about it though was kind of.
Why you throw your daughter under the bus? My daughter told me to wear it.
But not only that, Saturday I heard he said that he as soon as he wore it out and somebody recognized him or whatever, he said he felt that it was a bad idea. Then after the game, he went back to I'd wear it again. So, like, which one was it? It can't be both. But that's just Cleveland this year. That's this team. They more about the headlines, and nothing about football is going on that. What's going on?
This is what I'm holding up is a keep his job meter for Freddie.
Oh,
if I'm going to the right, he's doing pretty good. Which way is Freddie trending right now?
Hey man, homeboy said he's not worried about his job security.
So it look like it's going to the left right now.
Hey man, Freddie know he up out of there.
Okay, so it's all the way.
Freddie know he up out of there. He whatever his contract states, he gonna get whatever money he is entitled to. He gonna do what he do. He'll probably be back on the sidelines or something else with another team. But hey,
Freddie so meter's not going anywhere to the right for you.
Freddie don't give two fucks what y'all think. Baker don't give two fucks what y'all think.
They got so much talent on that team, dog.
They are more about letting. They're more about letting me, letting you, letting the fans, letting the media know that they don't give a fuck what y'all think. I don't want to call them. I don't know if sassy's the right word.
That's kind of.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah,
it's a sassy ass team.
Can you tell me another backfield that has more talent than what they got?
With Hunt and Chubb?
Yeah. Can't really think of one, can you?
We had Kamara and Ingram last year.
Yeah. Crazy, ain't it? It's talent everywhere. They're going to get Njoku back. It's talent everywhere. And they're going to not make the playoffs. Anyway, let's keep it moving. Tampa Bay beat the Jaguars.
Hold on. We got to go back, man. I got to give my man Duck some credit, man.
Shout out to him.
I ain't think he was going to go in there and do anything. Duck was out there slinging that thing. James Washington has come up as a nice little receiver for them this year. And once again, man, I really went back just to give Mike Tomlin another shout out.
I was about to bring that up. I think he's coach of the year right now.
Hey, it's especially if they make the playoffs.
I'm trying to look at this and see. I mean, Harbaugh he'll get some votes. Your coach will get some votes. Pete Carroll should get some votes because I ain't see Seattle going 10-2. But I feel like this is Mike Tomlin's. This is flipping a crumb to a brick.
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be Shanahan or Tomlin would be one of my pick. I know we gonna get Kyle gonna get a lot of votes just from the record.
Buffalo would get some.
Where we at? Buffalo probably. McDermott should be up in there, but he'll be an afterthought after some of the other names. But yeah, Tomlin, if he get these boys to the playoffs with these quarterbacks that he didn't had, and the way they started off 1-4. They're 7-5.
And did you hear the report Sunday? They said that he went into the locker room. He drawed up some stuff, said we're gonna start doing this differently on defense, and they took over that game in the second half. And I love that because people always say he's a rah-rah guy. He's a motivator. He ain't a play caller. Not a tactician.
Right.
I love that. So shout out to Mr. Tomlin for getting that done. Tampa Bay, like I said, they beat the Jaguars 28-11. And they pulled Nick Foles because he kept giving the ball to the other team. And they brought Gardner Minshew back in. They still only finished with 11 points. But here's the kicker. They decided that they're going to start Minshew for the rest of the year. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me. Did they not hand Nick Foles a whole lot of money this offseason?
Yeah, a lot.
Like real bread, too.
And even if you want to play the because he's been out all season and he's come back now these last couple of games, you can tell he's still rusty or still trying to work his way back, whatever. If you want to go down that road, still, I don't see why you bench him for the rest of the season. If he's rusty, then he need to get unfucking rusty
right.
for the money you paid him. So,
right.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it.
That sounds like a Jacksonville thing to do.
Right. Really I don't, unless they are letting Minshew get the rest of this season, are they going to come back next year as is? Because if they try to trade Nick Foles, nobody's probably going to trade for that money that he's owed next year. Not with him. At this point, outside of a Philly uniform on some playoff runs, Nick Foles is what he was, right? Yeah, I'm not going from Trubisky to Foles as we know Foles.
Yeah,
that's not.
How folks forget about that. They only thing folks see is the runs in Philly. They forget St. Louis, Kansas City. Yeah. Seemed like he was somewhere else. He was trash. Like
the first time in Philly. Remember, he was in Philly with Vic, with Mike Vick. So Nick Foles ain't no spring chicken.
Nope.
So I don't see anybody trading for him in that money. And if the Jags cut him, I think it's like $36-38 million is what the cap.
That dude got some deep pockets, but that's still $36 million.
Right.
You ain't just letting that walk. So if anything, they take these 4 games, see what they got. Now here's the other part of that, the other side. What if Uncle Rico balls?
Well, that's I guess where I was going to. I mean, I guess you let him play the rest of this season out, and then you try to start fresh next year with Foles, and then 6-8 games tops in, depending on where you at, you go back to Minshew, and then at that point, I think it'll be known it's going to be permanent because then you can get rid of Foles without a big financial hit. But other than that, I don't know what the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to do.
And the winner in that whole situation to me is Nick Foles because I don't think he's pressed at all. He's like, my check guaranteed. I'm good.
Yeah, he's a real big. They talked about it a lot in Philly. He's a real. I think he's a real religious guy. Yeah, he's real calm. He just take whatever it is in stride. And that was some of the qualities that why the team loved him so much, why he had that big ass shrine in the locker room and everything. So he probably like, whatever, man, Gardner, go on in there, dog. Do your thing. I'm right here to support you.
Absolutely. Me and this $25 million a year, we're right here to support you. Here's something else too. Tell me how you feel about this. I think Tampa might keep Jameis.
We'll see how these last 4 games go. I think that's going to be Bruce.
We thought we knew. It's kind of murky now.
Well, it keeps flip flopping because at the beginning of the year, I would say, okay, I think Jameis doing enough to stay. Then he
Right.
had a little bad stretch there, and I was like,
Right.
you know what, they got to move on. So yeah, it's going. I think it's going to be Bruce Arians' last call. How does he really feel about him?
Right.
I, I mean, I don't know what you
All
can do
J-Boo
because
gotta do is cut the turnovers out. That's it.
are we
That's
going
it.
into year 5, year 6?
I know. But
I think it's
cuz
going to be
that's
what it's
it.
going to be.
That's all he gotta do. Stop giving the ball to the other team. That's it.
Yeah.
And that sounds real easy from this desk in Beaufort, Georgia. But I don't know. I'm starting to look the other way with that. All right, let's get into your heavyweight matchup. I felt like that should have been a 4:00 game. We talked about last week. Y'all couldn't get prime times. Y'all just got flex. But I think that rain really helped Baltimore in that game against y'all. The game we're talking about is the Baltimore Ravens. They won 20-17 over the 49ers. Well, it was like a damn mini monsoon out there on Sunday.
And then when I saw that Saturday, I was like, okay, here we go back to the D.C., Baltimore area. Last time we see the Redskins game was a damn monsoon.
Sure.
It wasn't the field was in much better shape in this game, I tell you that, than that raggedy-ass field they got out there in D.C. But I think we played a pretty good game. The one of the main things that was a concern of mine going in came to light, and that was not containing the edges on Lamar Jackson on a lot of those runs. And it was so bad to me, at least. It was like, did we even practice this shit for the whole week? Because it was like people weren't even trying to keep an eye to see if everybody just kept crashing. Now, some of that had to do, I think, with some of the guys that were actually playing. This is where I think some of the injuries came into play. Because if you look at the DN position, D Ford didn't play. His backup, Ronald Blair, tore his ACL a couple of weeks ago. We had another defensive lineman go out last week with a knee injury. So we're playing some guys.
Like y'all engine light on right now.
It need to go get checked a little bit. We got some. I mean, they're in the shop. It's just it ain't one of them 2-hour oil changes. We got to change a couple things out. They might have to keep it all day. Here go a loaner. But and at linebacker as well.
Y'all miss Quan a lot because I heard somebody on TV say that this week. Like they really missing.
That's where I was gonna go because his speed at linebacker, he can cover all that stuff that they was getting to them tight ends. Quan would have killed a lot of that, if not all of it. And the guy that's in Quan's spot is the old strong side linebacker. So he had to move to Quan's spot, and now we got a guy that plays special teams starting. So the rotation is all kind of thrown off because of some of these injuries. And I think if we would have had some vet guys in there, some of these plays could have been stopped. Now,
I had an issue on that too.
Okay.
I want to talk about Lamar. And this is, I know I saw the game, but I was in and out. And I know you watched that game.
Right.
I don't think y'all did that bad against him. But if y'all had to see him again, y'all only lost by 3 points. I think y'all played him probably the best he's been played this year.
No, I will feel good about a rematch. The reason I say that is if you look at between the first half and the second half, we actually started to slow him down more.
Yeah.
We started to get our running game popping more, and we started to stop them a little bit more. So as the game went on, we were starting to kind of figure some things out a little bit. Like I said, we could just contain that edge. I think we would have been in better spots. But I had an issue with Kyle Shanahan end of the first half.
What you got?
Just the clock management. He let the clock wind down on one play way down as if we were just going to run a play and then just take it to the half when we had plenty of time to try to drive for a field goal. We ended up popping off a nice little run, but by the time all that happened, he had wasted 30 seconds.
Right.
So long and short, we ended up Robbie Gold ended up having to kick a long field goal, which didn't have a shot in hell at getting to where he needed to go. That was 3 points. If he's just a little more aggressive, maybe we can get some points on the board there. I know the commentators are saying it was the weather. Maybe he didn't want to chance it. I can see that as well because Jimmy got to look at himself in the mirror, even though he didn't really play bad this game. He
Yeah,
had
I
that
don't think he
fumble.
was a problem in this game.
But some of his past decision making may be in the back of Kyle's head to explain why he's not being as aggressive in some of these positions as he would if it was even a Matt Ryan or a Brady or Breeze or Aaron Rodgers. So
I think I come on here every week when we talk about y'all and I say I like Debo. I like Debo a lot.
Debo's good, man. I wish he would have got more involved after the catch, after the touchdown in the first half. I wish he would have got more involved.
But don't it seem like they go away from him? It's like he'll have a big chunk play like that, and then they'll go away from him.
Yeah, but our receivers, it's all kind of mushy to say the least. Anyway, it's just it's a mess. But man, we did all right. Not too bad about the loss. Shout out to Baltimore. They did their thing. They did what they had to do. But if we were to see them again, I feel pretty good. If we had to see them again.
All right, let's keep it moving. Let's talk about the LA Rams beat Arizona. Don't have much. Everybody's offense gets right against Arizona, so we're gonna find out going forward.
I had Arizona winning this game, man. They let me down.
I couldn't see that.
They've been putting up some points. So, the way the Rams had been playing, I felt they was ready to go ahead and mail it in for the season. But
Kyler had a rookie game this Sunday.
Okay.
He kept turning the ball over in this game, and it happened. It happens. The pass rush actually showed up for the Rams, and Kyler is small, so it was a rookie game. So you know how that go.
Yeah.
I can't say this week was an episode of Phillip comes up short because he actually played good for the Chargers.
Did they win?
They wins, but I'm not putting this one on him. The defense, they tied the game up. Defense led Denver with Drew Lock, a dude who ain't played all year long. Walk the ball down the field, get them in field goal range. I'm trying to think of a team that's been more cursed than the Chargers over like the last 5 years.
5? That's 10 or
I'm
more?
I'm nice saying 5, but let's just say I can't think of anybody else has been more cursed. If there's
I'm going back
game, they got it.
You had to go back to it was 14-2 and 5 Marty Schottenheimer. To me, ever since
Shit
then.
ain't been right since then. Absolutely.
Ever since then.
But on that game, you got anything else on that one?
Yeah, no.
All right. The Raiders and the Chiefs. This game here pretty much established once and for all that this year alone, right here this year, the Chiefs are the Raiders' daddy. There's nothing they can do with them. Absolutely nothing. You remember the game early this year when Mahomes put up like 400 yards in the first half?
Right.
9 points, dog. Remember how we was like, okay, they might be for real a couple weeks ago. And look at the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, the Chiefs game, I knew that was a game that they could probably lose, but last week's game was a shocker when they went in there and laid that egg against the Jets. But the Raiders,
people, the Chiefs defense is starting to play better.
Just a little bit, right?
Yeah, they're starting to play better. So
again, man, it ain't about what you do weeks 1 through 10. It's about the last 4 weeks of the season and how are you going to go into the playoffs playing. And let the Chiefs defense catch lightning in the bottle and just can go on a good defensive run for a couple games.
That's all they need.
Okay. Let this be the game that sparks the offense back to scoring 40 points a game with their eyes closed.
So 4 will play 5 if the playoffs started today?
4 always plays 5.
I believe they'll beat the Bills all day in Kansas City. All day.
Because they would be.
Yeah, the Chiefs are 4. The Chiefs are 4.
Oh, okay. So they don't have a tiebreaker against Houston. Got the tiebreaker.
Yeah, because they beat them.
Okay, that's right. Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, if it ends that way, the Chiefs can go into. The Chiefs will wipe Buffalo in the playoffs.
Yeah. So we gotta see which way the rest of that goes. But let's talk about the Patriots. I don't have much on the Patriots. I watched this game, but the score makes it seem like it's a lot closer than what it really was. It wasn't. It wasn't.
Patriots couldn't do jack shit for good majority of this game, 3.5 quarters, pretty much.
And people, y'all see Tom Brady frustrated on the sideline? Tom Brady would drive to the airport himself and pick up AB if they re-signed him tonight.
You
Let
already
him stay
know
in his crib. That shit ain't happening. But he would drive himself with his UGG boots on. go pick up AB. When he was on the sideline talking about we got to be quicker, we got to get faster, I'm like, dog, that's not that skill set.
quicker. We say quicker, faster, more explosive off the ball, separation. Is like, damn.
Hey, Muhammad Sanu probably hit him with that Scooby like,
Separation. Yeah, man. I don't, and I still can't stick a fork in them because.
Hey, they might not win their division though.
You think they'll drop enough games? I mean, Buffalo only one game down.
They one game.
They still play. They still play one time, right?
Buffalo got them one more time. Now I'm gonna do an early one now. Kansas City gonna beat New England Sunday Night Football. They're gonna beat them.
They play this week, right?
They play this week. Now the problem is the Ravens probably gonna beat Buffalo. So it wouldn't. I mean, but you remember how early in the year everybody was, this Patriots defense and everybody was scared of them. Hey, they're not getting them turnovers no more. If they're not getting them turnovers, the offense ain't doing shit.
Yeah, they're not playing them bum quarterbacks no more either.
That part.
Yeah, so that's playing a part too. I mean, the defense is still good. They just not this all time people wanted to talk about the first 3 weeks into the season. But
right. I mean, I'm not saying put a fork in them because, like we said last week, if they can, as of right now, they're in the 2 seed. You're gonna be playing at home. If you do what you're supposed to do, you'll have at least 2 home games and go to the Super Bowl. I'm not ready to discount them, but looking at the rest of these teams in the playoffs right now, Houston has good offense. Kansas City has good offense. Baltimore has good offense. If they got to put up 28 to 30 points, you feel confident they can do that?
No. But I feel confident that Bill Belichick led defense in the playoffs not going to give up 30 either.
No, yeah.
So Houston's 8-4, but to me they kind of up and down. The Chiefs' offense, of course, that scares you, Andy Reid, no doubt. And we know what Lamar and Baltimore doing. The Bills, good defense. I worry if they'll be able to put up enough points in the playoffs.
Yeah, that concerns
me. The competition in the AFC is the only thing that's giving New England any kind of glimmer of hope.
Right.
Because if they were in the NFC, forget about it.
So essentially you're saying Baltimore and Kansas City are the main threats. And I agree.
Yeah. I
agree.
I mean, is it any kind of way? I don't think it's even a way for the Bills and the Patriots to even kind of meet up in the playoffs.
No,
I don't think so. Yeah. I think it's got to be the Baltimore or the Chiefs. It's got to be Baltimore or the Chiefs.
Yeah, and in a 1-game elimination, I can't sit there and say I'm just closing the door on Bill Belichick, but I don't have much else on Houston. Houston may not win their division. Let's be clear. Titans are on their ass.
Damn, I wouldn't want. Now I'm looking at it now because you said the Chiefs the 4 seed, right?
Yeah, right now they're 4.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be a hell of a second round matchup, Baltimore and the Chiefs. That's what it would be.
That was a good game early this year.
Yep. All right, but no, go ahead.
But no, I mean, at this point, like I said, Houston may not win their division. They may not. So, where did they? I got them on here. I thought I did. Maybe I don't. Yeah, I just put NFC. So, Houston has Denver, the Titans, Tampa, and the Titans. Denver's not no suckers. Titans got the Raiders, the Texans, Saints, and the Texans. That's a hard schedule the rest of the way. Yeah, Houston should win this division. They should.
Okay, so essentially, they got 2 games with the Titans left. So the division pretty much going to come down to those 2 games.
Yeah. But, we're going to definitely see. I put the Colts on there because they're 6-6, but, yeah, they're kind of –
The Texans should be – if they're going to be a serious playoff team, they should beat the Broncos without no problem.
They should, but Denver's scrappy. That's a good way to describe them. But real
Hey,
quick, this off subject. How do you feel about Jacoby? You think he's
Jacoby Brissett. I
yeah?
hadn't watched a lot of him this year. My gut tells me he's a stopgap, and at some point you got to probably look at another quarterback.
That's what I've been hearing, and I was kind of like, well, I kind of like Jacoby, but because I heard they've been people been bringing up places for these other quarterbacks, but I don't know. T.Y. Hilton ain't been playing, so it's not like he's been playing with a full clip, but we'll see.
What kind of deal did he sign right after Luck announced his retirement?
2 years, $30 million.
They probably let him play that out.
Yeah. You know what? That falls right in line with when the time Trevor Lawrence and them come out. So, they'll be able to decide what they want to do then.
Oh, there you go.
All right. That is all we had in regards to those notes. We talked about the Jaguars, talked about Dallas.
Last night's game.
What about your division? You think
My division?
y'all play each other the last game of the year. Now, y'all got the Saints, you got the Falcons, you got the Rams. If Atlanta plays like they've been playing, that's a tough schedule, cuz.
Well, Atlanta went right back to playing like they've been playing all year this last game. So, I'm focused on the Saints right now, but I'm not too worried about Atlanta, honestly. But yeah, this is a big game for us this week against the Saints, and we gotta hold fort if we want to win the division and get that 1 seed, so that we don't have to go on the road for the whole playoffs. But I think we'll be able to do it. I feel real good about this game against the Saints. Certain teams, Saints and the Packers, historically we have always fared pretty good against them, no matter where we play them at. So I feel good about that. We finally get a week here where we ain't got to chase a quarterback around.
So Drew gonna be right there. You ain't got to look for Drew.
So hopefully the defensive line can get back to doing what it was doing early in the season. They had a few games off. Well, as far as sack-wise, at least, we ain't been getting those numbers. So I think we should be able to get that back. I mean, we know what you got to do when you go into a game against the Saints. Easier said than done, of course, but you got to limit Alvin Kamara and keep Michael Thomas under 150 yards and 2 touchdowns.
That's crazy that everybody knows the ball's going to him. We know. And you can't stop him.
Right. Which is going to be real interesting. And Sean Payton's a pretty smart cat. I'm pretty sure he'll be arranging plays and aligning Michael Thomas away from Richard Sherman.
Yeah.
Because, no matter how good you think Drew Brees is, how good you think Michael Thomas is, how good you think your play calling is, that ain't a matchup that you want to go to 15 times a game with and expect to come out on top the way Richard Sherman has been playing. So I don't think that would be a good game plan, lining him up purposely on Richard Sherman's side, because Richard not going to follow.
Depending on how this playoff run goes, it's going to be real interesting what happens. I mean, I could be, jumping the gun. I just can't see New Orleans letting Teddy leave the building. I just can't.
I mean, it's all relative to what's better out there. Teddy's cool. I don't think you're going nowhere with Teddy, though. Honestly, that's just me.
No, I'm with you on that. I mean, in that dome, he's fine. You play him outside, his arm ain't shit. But as far as for what they need right now, I mean, Drew Brees is what, 41? He's our age, right? Or is he younger than us?
Yeah, he's 40, 41. He's about the same age, so around there. This just crossed my mind, though. I've been real big on if y'all let Cam go, I think he should go to the Bucks.
Yeah.
What you feel about Cam and Nolans?
That'd be the shit.
Cam with that all black uni on, him and Kamar, Michael Thomas, Taysom Hill. Ooh, that sounds nasty.
I'm starting to see the Chargers.
That sound nasty.
I'm starting to see the Chargers, though, because Phillip don't have a contract. Phillip is free the end of their season. And, that looks like a divorce that's about to happen.
Yeah, only reason a trade is different, but if he willingly has his option, only reason I don't think that the Chargers would be on his list, they front office and that organization is just kind of not stable to me.
And you know what?
From
Yeah,
not knowing where they going, from not knowing where they gonna play to I don't know if that's the spot.
Patrick Mahomes in his prime too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, true. I didn't think about that.
Stay in the South. Stay in the South. All right. I think that's all we got NFL wise. You got anything else NFL?
We talk about he back in the MVP race now after leading all season and then giving up the lead to Lamar Jackson, according to the media. Talking about Russell Wilson last night.
Did you hear on the broadcast they kept saying that he's never gotten one MVP vote? That's kind of surprising. Not one. It's like he's had some good years. They may not be winning team wise, but the numbers.
Yeah, I mean, if you kind of think about it, it was. I guess I can see that because pre-LOB, while LOB was still there, talk was always about the defense and how Russell was just don't fuck it up, hold it in the road.
Got something hateful to say too.
The last couple of years is when he just kind of started to break out and show that I can do this thing. So I guess I can kind of see that.
Cause is that not an irritating motherfucker? When they had him on the mic'd up thing,
ESPN was more irritating about it, because
my God.
I mean, he's so even if he's not fake, he comes across fake.
Now you know what I used to say about Tim Tebow. I used to always be like, can't nobody be that nice all the time. There has to be another side. He can't be this. He cannot be this the whole time. I don't believe it. You can't make me believe it. But,
yeah, man. But and they just kept going back to it. I'm like, man, are y'all gonna lick his balls dry?
Oh my God. Just keep it moving. You served him, keep it moving. My God. He ain't gonna win the MVP. Lamar would have to fall off a cliff at this point not to win the MVP.
I think it's close though.
You think it's close?
I mean, just think about the media temperature. It was Russell's up until 3 weeks ago. So how can it just now be that he ain't in it?
I'm not saying he's not in it, but I believe that Lamar is the front runner at this point.
I would give him the front runner, but I don't think he can't be caught. Like I said, to me, that's just me. You can't just jump in the race. And like I said, I'm just going by media temperature because it was always funny to me how all of a sudden after they beat the Patriots that boop, we just dropped him right in the front of the MVP race. That's kind of what happened.
But technically, if you look at it, he beat the 49ers. He beat the Patriots. Who else he played good? He has some big wins on his record too. I
mean, yeah, the wins got something to do with it, but to me, it would be close. It's going to see how these last couple games end. Because to me, they both to me. Because Seattle without Russell Wilson, yeah, that's a no bueno team right there.
I wish I could remember what we predicted for them going into the year.
Well, I don't know if it was 10, but Seattle was a lot of people's pick, if not the Rams' pick to win the division. Even though people thought we would improve, we were still coming up in most people's predictions as third in the division. So people still felt that Seattle would be good because of him. Maybe not this good record-wise, but people thought they would still be in the hunt.
I think I heard a stat. This is the last thing we got on that. They are 8-1 in one-score games. That's all the NFL comes down to. Control the ball. Don't give it to the other team. And if you can win a lot of these close games, you're gonna be all right.
Yeah. I think it turns seasons around.
It does.
It turns seasons around.
Does. So, all right, that's all I got on the NFL. Got to talk about the last quarter. Okay. So you think Doug Marrone gonna be there next year?
Who's that?
Doug Marrone in Jacksonville. Think he's there?
Oh no.
Okay, so that's one. Dan Quinn, you think he did enough?
Hell, come on.
That's two. We talked about Freddie. That's three. You said you ain't heard nothing about Sherman. We don't know about Garrett. And the Washington job is still there. So it's a lot to happen these last 4 weeks, but I've been reading a lot more about it because I heard somebody bring up Sherman. I started reading. And I done heard folks say he done lost the locker room. I was like, oh, shit.
And then he have another stint with another team where I think that was an issue or something.
Was he the head coach in Minnesota or was – no,
I think
he was the head coach in Cleveland for a second.
That's what it was. It was Cleveland. It was Cleveland. But he was in Minnesota in some capacity too, right?
I think he
Coordinator?
was OC. OC.
Okay.
So I mean, interesting. I mean, it's always any other one that you think should be worried outside of them cats that you can think of?
See, Minnesota, Seattle Saints. Not off top.
It don't seem like it do it.
You said Dallas, Washington, Atlanta. Y'all already on the market. The Panthers. So that's half of that.
Old boy in Detroit. You think he's safe?
Patricia?
Yeah.
This is what, second year?
They shouldn't have hired him though.
Yeah. Something tells me he gets another year though.
Yeah, with all them injuries, it seems like he would get another
year. I would say, especially with Matt Stafford probably missing half the season is what it'll be. Yeah, he probably gets one more shot. Rest of that division we know. Yeah, we said this kid, what's his name? Is it Zach Taylor in Cincinnati? Mm-hmm. Is he gonna be back?
You can't fire me, and we've been tanking.
Okay.
Can't do that. Now, once he gets old boy from LSU, and they lose next year, that's another discussion.
Right. I would like to see Adam. I would like to see Adam Gase gone, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
Vrabel might make the playoffs.
Who?
Vrabel in Tennessee. He might make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think Vrabel's. Yeah, I think Vrabel's fine. Yeah, everybody. I think it's gonna be about 6 jobs, 6 or 7 jobs probably. So
over under 2 brothers.
Get new jobs.
Yep.
I
don't know who the 2 brothers are. Don't ask me that. I'm just saying.
I was about to say, I'm trying to think of who would even be in the pipeline right now coming up for a job. So I can't think of anybody right now. So I'm gonna probably say under. Yeah.
All right. Well, college football playoff ranking stayed the same. Alabama got beat by Auburn over the weekend. This weekend, you got the conference championships. Georgia, I don't think y'all are going to beat LSU. I don't. So, do you think it's Oklahoma or Utah that gets in?
Georgia's going to win.
I mean, I want them to win. Don't get me wrong.
It's going to be LSU, Georgia, Clemson, and
Ohio State. What it is now. So, you think everybody going to win?
Now, if Georgia –
LSU can't win. If Georgia wins, LSU can't win. If Georgia wins, what do you think LSU falls if we beat them? 4?
That's the thing. I mean, we would have to blow LSU out for them to drop all the way out to me because they would still only have 1 loss, and they would have it in a conference championship game in a close game more than likely. They've already beat Auburn, Alabama, Florida. I want to say it's one more team. I think they didn't beat like 4 top 10, top 15 teams.
Yeah.
So even if they lose, they're going to be in. Okay. So that's why your Utahs and Oklahomas, even Alabama, if you want to say them, they are rooting for LSU because they don't want Georgia. Yeah, Alabama's done because they're not going to get in over Utah if Utah wins the conference championship. They're not going to get in over
12. They're done.
Oh, the rankings came out. Okay. Yeah, so what are the new rankings?
I got them on here. The top 4 stayed the same, but Utah's at 5 and Oklahoma's at 6.
Okay. So Ohio State stayed at 1.
They stayed at 1,
which they should have because Michigan was ranked 13th, and I think Texas A&M, who LSU played, was ranked like 20s or something. So that makes sense.
Okay, so I mean, I heard you, but I didn't. So where do you think LSU drops if we beat them?
Okay, so if we beat them, being that they're going to come in at 2, then you got to drop them down to 4.
Okay, so they'll still be in.
I think they'll end up swapping places with Georgia.
Bet.
So it would be Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson. I think Clemson's locked in at 3.
Wouldn't that be interesting if we played Ohio State and Justin Fields played from?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would love for it to happen in the national championship game. Yeah. That's why I say we beat them. That's exactly what's going. Well, we would have to beat Clemson first. So
yeah. Don't Clemson seem like that's ain't nobody paying them no mind. That makes them dangerous.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's a good idea to not be paying a two-time champion over the last 3 years any attention, but
don't
it's
it feel
the
like they ain't getting no attention right now? Like everybody's
because
talking about everybody else but them.
because they playing JUCO teams every week.
Right.
And I'm not even saying that because they scheduling bad. I'm saying that because their conference, the ACC, is bad. So it ain't their fault. You know, they got to play. They
Miami
got
was
to.
supposed to be better this year, but it didn't work out that way.
Well, you got Miami, you got Florida State.
Pitt.
That's two schools right there that are supposed to be good no matter what, hell or high water, or at least be competitive, and they're not even anywhere close to competitive.
Right.
So that conference is just shit. It's a basketball conference, pretty much. Pretty
That's
much.
what Paul Feinbaum was shitting on them this morning. He's talking about they're playing Virginia for the ACC title, not in basketball, football.
Right.
I like that old dude, man. I want to be that way when I'm old. Just say what the hell I think.
Exactly. But back to your question: if Georgia loses, is it going to be Utah or Oklahoma? Yeah. Obviously, they both would have to win for it to even be a discussion.
Right.
But I would like to see. Actually, I wouldn't care because Georgia wouldn't be there. But I would like to see both of them for different reasons. I would like to see Utah get there, so these big small schools can get a shot. And if you win, you win. If you get blowed out, then you get blowed out.
let's keep it a buck though.
Or I would rather see Jalen Hurts get another shot. I'm just not a big believer in the Oklahoma brand. So, I've never been big on Oklahoma. So that's the only thing with that. But I would like to see him get another shot.
But Utah, what ratings would they get with Utah playing Ohio State?
I mean,
even if Oklahoma got boat raced, they get better ratings with Ohio State and Oklahoma.
But if you think about it, though, it could work, or it could at least balance out. Maybe not be as low as it would be if it were two East Coast powerhouses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Ohio State is going to bring its share of viewers no matter who they playing.
Yes.
That's one. Two, it's a national semifinal, so people are going to be watching just because anyway.
Right.
And then three, whatever East Coast viewers you may be losing, you're going to gain West Coast viewers because they want to see Utah.
Right.
So that's like that whole Pac-12 area. They're going to want to see Utah. So I think you would still get some decent ratings. Again, can they keep up? Oh, absolutely not.
I about to say I ain't watched a down of Utah.
Absolutely not. That's why I couldn't really tell you who should get in out of the two, as far as resume wise. Because if Utah's in the Pac-12, then I'm gonna automatically pick Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Out of those two.
Speaking of Pac-12, is USC still a good job? Because
I think so.
Dude this weekend, then they come back and say they hadn't made up their mind, so he's still there.
Oh, I hadn't paid him any attention. A lot of these schools, if you're not good, I don't know what's going on with you. But I would think USC would be a good school, just the brand alone.
Yeah. They
got some AD issues and stuff.
What's up?
I thought they had a good season or two.
Not with Sam Darnold throwing them picks. I can't think of anybody that came after him.
Oh, okay. I want to say maybe after
they had a good little drop off since. Well, Pete Carroll left him fucked, man, because he with that Reggie Bush stuff. So,
yeah, that's true.
Good job, Pete. All right, you got anything else?
Seemed like I did. No. We're finna get into the good part of the basketball season now. It's December now. I really try to focus in on it now because they about 20, 25 games in. That's kind of when I like to really, really watch. I've been watching though. So
what I hit you the other day, I don't think you responded. The Hawks finally won a game last night. Charlie, if we end up back in the lottery, we young everywhere right now. I don't even know what we need. Besides time.
Yeah, that's why I didn't respond.
I can't think of what we're young everywhere. I don't want to be back in the lottery.
Yeah, Yeah, that's like June. Yeah, I can't do it.
I'm talking about looking at that team right now. Not the lottery, but the team. I mean, I can't think of. I like us at 2 guard. I like our small forward. I like everything we got. I can't even think of shit we need. Just time.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's what I was getting at.
No, in regards to that, yeah. No, I thought you were asking like who do we
No, I
take?
wasn't talking
Oh,
players.
okay.
Hell, I ain't watched these dudes. But just in general, like I didn't expect us to lose 10 straight games. You know?
I was gonna say, we have been a disappointment. I'm like, look, man, I know John Collins is out on suspension, but John Collins ain't all this. He ain't accounting for all of this shit.
No,
so
you look at
it's a lot of Trae Young and not a lot else. Yeah, when you're watching the Hawks play right now.
Trae go to the bench, shit goes sour quickly. So I was just like, it kind of made me sad. Though. I'm like, damn, we've been in the lottery all these years. I don't want to go back in the damn lottery. Yeah. I can't see shit we need.
But maybe this is a good way, because we came into the season hype, but we still have to keep in mind that we are young.
Very young.
When you have your best player go out and you stick a bunch of youngins out there, what's gonna happen? Look what's going on in Golden State. So, it's gonna be some growing pains. But yeah, we gotta pick it up a little bit though. We gotta pick it up a little bit.
We end up back in the lottery. I trade that shit. Get me some vet help. We don't need nobody else young. We're good. We're good at young people. I like Herter. I like old boy from Virginia. Cam, that's another story, but my brother been at me hard, like, man, Cam a bust. I thought you gotta give it 2 years. Maybe 3.
Yeah, it's way too early. It's way too early.
He a bust yet. It's early.
Yeah, it's way too early for that. Way too early for that.
Folks be expecting you to come in with 10, 15 points, and it don't always work like that in the NBA, people. It really don't.
Nah, man, you gotta think this kid still 19?
Hell, he ain't play a lot of Duke last year. Don't seem like he was hurt a lot for them. And out. So.
Yeah, your prime is not until you like between 25 and 28. So keep that in mind when you label some of these kids bust like right out the gate. But what I was going to say, I forgot it just that quick. But
I need Cam the ball because that'll justify. And I'm happy with Trae. Luka been balling, but I'm happy with Trae for what we need right now. Happy with that.
Yeah. No, we good with Trae. Regardless of what Luka doing. But damn, I keep forgetting what the hell I was going to say about the Hawks. Oh, as far as that draft pick. Now, depending on what's there, what that pick is, you might have some cats emerge during this college season. We'll see.
We're just young everywhere. That's what I can't even. We're young everywhere.
Yeah. So. Yeah. But for instance, and I don't know what name or anything, but let's just say hypothetically there was a surefire 2 guard out there.
I started to screenshot you the other day.
That was better. That was better than
with us getting Anthony from Carolina. I was like, where he gonna play? Him and Trae the same size.
Yeah,
we don't need that. So.
No, we don't need that. And Cole Anthony good.
He good.
Watch out for that boy Baycott, big man we got for Carolina. He was beasting Saturday. I'm gonna have to keep my eye on that young man.
I believe. I think
probably so. All right, people, we're going to get up here. It's 10 o'clock, man. We're going to check out Melo. They're on national TV tonight against the Clippers in L.A. So we're going to see if
boys at work, Melo.
We can see if Melo can keep this scoring streak on the road. He has been averaging about 17 and a half, I think, since he's come back.
22 last week.
Shout out to Melo. His wife out here.
Don't be a sucker, man. Put your man on with that shit you taking.
All right, man. We're finna get up out of here, people. We appreciate y'all tuning in as always. Don't forget to check out any and all of the episodes on either the podcast platform, Spreaker, or iTunes. And you can always check us in and look at our ugly ass faces on the YouTube channel. Sure. Again, search all platforms. AA Sports, Straight Sports, No Chasing. You'll find all that content. I'm on social media here and there, every now and then. At Diego Barish, you can find me on Twitter. Uncle Hey, tell these people where to DM you at.
At Rike6000. Holla at me. I talk sports.
All right, man. We're finna get up out of here. Again, this is episode 203. Y'all check us out. We'll be back on Thursday for the NFL Week 14 pick show. We up out of here, man. Y'all be good. Peace.